All right, everyone, welcome to tonight's paranormal investigation with myself, JPVideos, and Alan from Revenge of the Apocalypse. We just got to our location here. We're going to wait for some viewers to come in, and we'll be getting started with tonight's investigation.
So creepy here in the water. Keep hearing like this, like something whipping around.
Keep hearing something over here in the trees.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, welcome. Hello. Hey, everyone. Hello, can you guys hear us okay? Can you see? Can you hear? Let us know everything's working okay. Anyone out there? Hello? Everything okay? Okay. Some people were saying hello, question mark. All right, welcome everyone. We are, as you can see, at the Eagle Air Shaft. The escape shaft for 33 men who survived the Knox Mine Disaster. So we just got everything set up here. We're going to continue on to the location where the disaster happened and get started with tonight's investigation. Bird or something? Duck?
Yeah.
What are they called? Geese?
Yeah. It's weird whenever it keeps making noise over there though in the water.
Well, we're headed that direction. All right, guys, we're going to get mobile now. So let me get you situated and we're going to move on. So those of you tuning in, is that eyes up there?
I don't think so. Looks like something's wrong.
Maybe a reflector.
Yeah.
All right, so those of you tuning in, we didn't get started yet. We are on our way to the location. We'll be there in a few minutes, and we'll share some of the history about the place if you don't know already. I have done 2 videos here. One was a documentary, and one was a daytime live stream recently where I did show an updated look. Now, those are...
Uh-oh.
Those eyes are moving.
Yeah.
We're seeing some eyes up ahead. We don't know what it is yet, so... mods, though, if you could do me a favor, find my documentary video. Just search Knox Mine Disaster and post that link in the chat. That way people can watch it and have an idea as to what took place here. So even if we don't find any paranormal evidence tonight, the location alone is creepy tonight, I'll tell you that. This is Alan's first time here. This is my 3rd time here, and first time at night though.
Yeah, regardless, if there's nothing here, this is still a creepy place. I mean, even with the black figure that we seen before the live started, that was kind of creepy than whatever we are seeing up here in all the rooms.
Yeah, before we started the stream tonight, on our way to where we just started the stream, we had our lights off, not to draw any attention, and both Alan and myself did see a black figure further up ahead, which prompted me to turn on my flashlight, and nothing was there. Hey everyone tuning in, thank you for the congratulations on my goal of 100K. I will be doing a separate video thanking everyone, but this is a preemptive thank you, so couldn't have done it without all of you. Yeah, I walked through a bunch of those last time.
There is a reflector up there, but I did see.
Yeah, those eyes.
See something move.
Eyes went away. So we are walking on a former rail line. This is called a rail trail. On the other side of this fence is active train tracks, but they're only used sparingly once or twice a month. I just heard like rustling of leaves behind me. I thought someone was walking behind me. Got a big stone face here on our left. Up here, you could probably see it in the camera. And I'm sorry if it's pixelated. Once we stop it, we'll clear up. But there's a reflector up here. Right by there, we did see two eyes, which we thought was another reflector. But those eyes actually changed direction as we were approaching. So we just have to be vigilant of any wild animals out here. Yeah. There's nowhere for that to go too, because this is a rock wall here. So I don't know where those eyes went to. Yeah, this type of video is perfect for the season. We're almost midway through October. And this video we're making tonight, this episode, is requested from viewers. When I was here doing the live stream, people said, hey, do you ever think about doing a ghost hunt? I said, yeah, plenty of times, but I didn't think people would want to see it because there's no physical structures here. It's just a pretty much a memorial site. Yeah, a second here. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's open last time. That's where we're going. Shh. Thought I heard like someone running. It is very, very quiet out here, and we're kind of partially secluded, partially in the open.
Hey, do you remember this?
Ooh. There's a light up there, see it? Something was just flashing a light and it stopped. And it was off and on.
Yep.
See it?
Uh-oh. Wonder what that is.
It's going to kill the lights a second here. Okay, something is up ahead, or someone with a light. I don't know if you guys can see the camera or not. You see it?
Yeah.
I do know there's a bridge further up, but that's getting closer, isn't it? Do you guys see that light?
Maybe it is cars. I mean, I'd like to hope so anyway. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Tail lights.
Okay.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are cars. We just saw taillights. We thought someone was coming this way. False alarm.
I was going to ask you, is that stuff here? Last time you were there?
What, that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Okay. So somebody definitely came through since.
But these are the same tracks, though. If you watch the documentary footage, these are the same tracks that they curved off. And right where that marker is, where those flags are, is where the whirlpool was. So the tracks curved off and they dumped the hopper cars into here. All right, so we're going to go over to the site here. It will give you a brief rundown on the history of this location. You could see the flags up here for the memorial, and the river, Susquehanna River, is directly behind it. So what this place lacks in physical structures, except for in history.
There wasn't this many flags here.
Yeah, I think there's some new ones added. Hopefully you guys could see that. It says Knox Mine Disaster occurred on this spot January 22nd, 1959, and 12 men died. So they're asking if you're feeling anything yet.
I got a weird chill a little bit ago, but give me a few minutes and we'll see what happens. because at the same time I got it, I haven't been here, so just the eeriness of it alone is kind of creepy, and I didn't really realize I could be in touch with this stuff the way I am, so it's not like I can pinpoint it immediately. So I'll have to let you know.
So let me raise you guys up here. I'm going to turn around on me. Here I am. Let me get the microphone. All right, so hopefully you guys could see me okay, hear me okay. Let me try not to blind myself. There we go. So Alan's going to get his stuff set up, and then I'll get my stuff set up, and we'll see if we can make some contact. I do have the K2 meter. I have the temperature gun. I have the spirit box, and the flashlight, which has been used quite a bit in our previous investigations. So just stay tuned for a couple moments here, and then we'll get started. I look spooky. Sorry about that. I guess that's a good thing, right? And look at the jacket. Who are you going to call?
Yeah.
Which name patch are you wearing?
I don't know.
Stance.
Yep. Sad part about this is never seen it.
Really?
Never seen it. I actually bought the Blu-ray discs today at Walmart because I'm like, I need to catch up on that.
Okay, anyone out there in the audience besides Alan who's never seen Ghostbusters movie? Because that's a rarity. I think that's instilled in your childhood when you're growing up that you must watch Ghostbusters at least once.
Yeah, never seen it.
All right, you're not the only one.
Somebody actually said it.
They haven't seen it.
Oh.
So he is putting the trigger object there, which is the doll. He's used that before in the cemetery video, and he's going to set up his K2 meter next to it and put a stationary camera there to record the whole time. And those of you watching too, we are doing this respectfully, so anything that we do move or disturb, we will put back as it should be intended. But again, we're just here trying to make contact, not doing anything else. I do want to show you the sky though, because it looks very ominous. Again. Look at that sky. We got a mountain there right in front of us, and the partially overcast sky. Perfect night for investigation. And behind us is the Susquehanna River, and it is reported and well known that flowing water does help fuel paranormal energy. So we have that on our side. All right, I'm gonna leave you with that. Re-scratch that. I'm gonna leave you guys with this view here for a moment. I'm gonna get my stuff ready to go, and we'll get started.
heard that noise before.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anybody down by the riverbank.
Well, that sounded like it was up over there.
I thought it was over there.
No, I heard it over that way.
Did you?
Yeah. Could have potentially been whatever.
All right, we're hearing some rather strange sounds as we're getting set up here. We don't know what it is or where it's coming from, but I'm going to pull out the temperature gun and we'll get an accurate reading. Okay, so here is the temperature gun. So around 45 degrees, that's the temperature right now. The red laser is the laser for the temperature gun. It locks onto whatever I pointed at, and that is the temperature. Although it feels warmer than that.
Here's something over there.
All right. Sorry about the lights. We're going to try to keep it dark. We don't want to draw any attention to anyone that potentially could be nearby, whether they're anything. We just don't really want to have anyone stumble upon us here. So we're going to keep it dark for the most time. We do have the mag light here, which we've used in previous investigations. I do adjust it so it's just turned off, and we set it down and we see if something touches it to turn it on, and we use it as a form of communication. So I'm going to get that set up right now. Okay, so what you're seeing, the light there is Alan's camera. He is recording right now the doll in night vision. He has his K2 meter there, which is the little green light there. And I have the flashlight there. So we're going to see if we can ask some questions, get some responses. Hello, my name is Jay. This is Alan. We are here to try to make contact with anyone or anything that's willing to speak with us. We are aware of the situation and tragedy that took place here, and we'd like to try to maybe get some questions answered or to send out a word to make your voice known. There are some devices here. There's a green light. If you touch that, it will light up different colors. And there's also a flashlight, also known as a torch or a lamp. If you touch that as well, it will light up. And if you can make one of those light up, we could communicate with you. We do know that there is 12 men that died here 60 years ago. And we know that you were told to do your job to mine the coal, even though you were reaching some unsafe depths of the earth. And we also know that you were never found or recovered.
It got really cold on me right now.
Did it? All right, Alan said he's feeling some cold around him. I'm going to actually pull out the temperature gun around him. It's about 2 degrees cooler around you. You hear that? It sounds like a voice. I just heard a voice by the river. You heard that, right?
Sounds like it's calling out to something. Ah, that's a bird.
Is it?
Yeah, it's closer and it just did it again.
Okay, so there is an island behind us that's called Wintermoot Island. That's partially formed from when they dammed up the river to search for the men. And there was something screaming back there, and it turns out it's a bird. Yeah, the air temperature here If it will focus, there we go. So temperature is actually going down a little bit. And Alan said he felt a cool spot around him. So those of you watching, I forgot to do it, but would you like me to tell you what happened here? Or would you like me to tell you later? Because I could give you a brief recap of the history here if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll just continue on with the investigation. Ooh, there's a flashlight. All right, we see you turn on the flashlight. Thank you very much for that. If you can turn it back up, turn it back off. We know that you can understand us. Just let go of the light or move away from it. It'll turn back off. Gotta get further away. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so we got our first response here. So thank you for turning that on for us. That is not going to harm you. You can use that to communicate with us. And we're going to try to ask you some questions. And if you could, turn it on for a yes response or keep it off for a no. And you can also use the other device there with the green light. Either one will help us hear you. And we're also recording with microphones. If you're able to try to shout as loud as you can, we may be able to hear you. We come here respectfully. We mean you no harm. We just would like to ask some questions about the tragedy that took place here back on 1959. So can you tell me, are you one of the miners who died in the tragedy?
Keep feeling that cold spot being.
Are you one of the coal miners who worked for the coal company, the Knox Coal Company?
You're not getting like no cold sensations like on your face at all?
Nothing like significant. Would you like us to leave this location? Are we bothering you? I heard something in the distance. I heard some movement in the distance, like something walking.
So we do understand that you put your trust into someone who essentially let you down and it cost you your life. And I know it must be hard to trust anybody else, especially after something so significant has happened. But we really do come here with no ill intentions and want to try to help you out.
So this is the setup. There's the, what's her name?
Jesse.
Jessie doll. To the right of her is the K2 meter. Behind the flag, laying on the marble, is the flashlight. And there's Alan's camera. So we're just keeping our distance. We're standing behind the camera that you're watching right now. So if anything does happen, we are not responsible for it. I can barely hear y'all. Can you hear me okay? Or if necessary, I'll have to change the microphone adjustment. Or if you're having trouble hearing, maybe turn up the volume, but we'll try to speak appropriately. We don't want to shout, obviously. Whoever that was that turned on the flashlight, we don't want to scare you away. We just want to communicate with you. Myself and viewers watching would like to have some questions answered. And we just need to know that you're still here with us. What I'm going to do for you guys, since we're kind of waiting, maybe talking about what happened may trigger some responses. So I'm going to give you a rundown as to what happened. And again, mods, if you could, link up my documentary video post a link. That way people can watch the footage of everything that I do describe. But basically, this is January 22nd, 1959, approximately 11:20 a.m. Workers for the Knox Coal Company were working in a coal mine under the Susquehanna River. They were extracting a vein of coal, and for safety measures, they were told to keep 50 feet between their workings and the bottom of the river. That is the closest they could get to the river without any risk of collapse or anything like that. Well, the mine owners were obviously greedy and didn't really care to look out for the lives of their workers. So they told those miners to keep following that vein of coal, which was going upwards closer to the river. They got to the point where they were extracting the coal. There's only 5 feet between where they were working and the bottom of the river. Only 5 feet. That's the average height of a regular person. That's all that was stopping the river from flooding that mine that they were working in. Got so close that the miners could actually hear the water flowing above them, and they were forced to wear raincoats because water was dripping down through the earth, and they were constantly pumping out the water out of the mine shafts and tunnels to keep the conditions workable. Well, like I mentioned, 11:20 a.m. approximately, the river broke through a 100-foot diameter hole. That's 10 basketball hoops laying down one after another. 100-foot diameter hole opened up, turning into a whirlpool of the Susquehanna River, flowing, flooding, and drowning those coal miners. Now, there is some good news to that story. Before we get to that, though, there's an individual who escaped through what is called the Eagle Air Shaft. That's where we started our video. He went and got help, told everyone that what was going on, safety crew, the mine foreman, that, hey, the river broke through, it's flooding the mines, we need help immediately. They scrambled, got to the location where we are, disconnected the railroad tracks, and angled them into the whirlpool. They shoved over 50 hopper cars, which are full-size railroad cars that hold coal, and coal cars, and shot them right into the whirlpool in an attempt to plug up that hole. Obviously, that was a fail. It didn't succeed. All it did was make the situation even worse for anyone who was down in that hole, that they wouldn't be able to escape. On top of that, they dumped hundreds of loads of material trying to plug up the hole. Water kept flowing hours after hours. A big whirlpool swirling into the mines. Eventually, the water stopped flowing, and within that time, when it happened up until the water stopped flowing in where it was already flooded, 33 men were able to escape through the Eagle Air Shaft. They knew the mine workings and were able to make their way towards the air shaft before it got flooded, and those 33 men did survive. 12 men down there were presumed to be trapped, if not killed. They ended up damming the river before and after where the whirlpool opening was. They actually pumped out all the water, including the water down in the mines. They extracted all the water out of there, pumping for days, I believe, to at least recover the bodies down there. You heard that? Sorry, we just heard something in the woods by us. 1 second. Well, after they pumped it out, the rescue workers went down into the mines. Were never able to find those 12 men, and they are still missing to this day. And the thing I'd like to mention too is January temperatures in Pennsylvania are frigid. Water temperature is probably 30, 40 degrees at max. And if the men were trying to escape, they most likely died from hypothermia, if not being drowned and washed away. Upon failure to recover those men, they ended up filling up the hole, plugging it with a concrete cap, and building the earth upon it that we're standing on right now. So right below us is where this all happened. We're standing above the whirlpool spot. And of course the mine was shut down, lawsuits entailed, and it was a big national tragedy that made headlines. So that is the gist of what happened here 60 years ago. Now, since talking, I've been keeping my eye on the light here. Nothing has happened as far as activity. So we're going to wait here a little bit longer. After this, we're going to go down by the riverbank, closer to where the water source is and where the... Actually, ooh, there we go. If that's you, make the light go on all the way. Try to pick it up. We need you to turn that on all the way. There you go. Thank you. We'd like to try to talk with you if you want to keep talking with us. All right, so it's kind of spotty with activity here. But what I was saying is that after we leave this site, we're going to go down by the riverbank where acid mine drainage is actually flowing out of the mines to this day. It's staying in the river, a orange rust color. And it's coming up from under the mines because the mines are flooded from the water table. They're not being pumped out anymore. So we're going to go down closer to where everything happened and try to get hopefully some responses or activity. There is no cemetery close by to us now. And sorry if I'm missing any of your comments. I am trying to keep an eye on the equipment here and share the information, but just trying to see what's going on in the chat here. Someone said they're leaving because no one believes them. I don't know what they were referring to, so I do apologize if I didn't acknowledge your comment. You are welcome to use the super chat feature to make your comment stand out, or possibly some of the viewers or mods can answer your questions. And what we're doing here too, I say this every time, we're not trying to convince anyone that anything does exist. We are here simply trying to see if we can make communication with anything that possibly wants to communicate with us. We're not saying, right or wrong, there is paranormal activity out there. We're just saying we're out here. It's more or less a form of entertainment for you guys. If you believe in it, great. If you don't, we're not going to knock you for it, but don't knock anyone who does believe. Psycho Ghost Trackers, hey there, how are you? We're doing great. Thank you for your donation. The flashlight's gone on twice, yes. Say they think it's for kids. Oh, they can think whatever they want. But we could use that as our next question, though. Is there a child here that maybe worked or died in the mines where you may be a breaker boy? We'd like to try to communicate with you. There's a toy there. You could try to pick it up. You could try to play with the lights, make them change colors. We have a lot of people watching right now who would love to see that you would like to communicate and maybe share some information about the afterlife or the tragedy that took place. And
I heard a guy's voice.
did you? I'm glad we can actually see now. I can see like much better that our eyes adjusted. Now, again, upon walking here tonight, Alan and myself did spot a black shadow off in the distance on the trail we were walking on. We don't know what it was, but it looked like a figure of a person. And when I turned my flashlight on, it was gone. So that was our visible experience on our way here. So far, we have the flashlight responses, but they're not being direct responses. So we can't say yes or no, this is paranormal activity. We need to have some solid responses to our questions to say yes or no, we are speaking with someone. Do you guys have any questions you'd like me to ask for you that are relative to the situation here? You're welcome to comment them and I will ask them for you. Has anyone been murdered near here? I really don't know offhand. Black shadows, usually bad spirits. Yes, I have heard that before. Are you at peace? Please turn on the light to answer yes. All right, so somebody commented the names of the deceased here. I'm going to read off these names. If one of these names is yours, is that flashlight going on?
No.
If one of these names are yours, please make the light turn on. Charles Featherman. Joseph Kaczynski. Dominic Kivaleski. Frank Orlowski. Eugene Ostrowski. A lot of Polish people. William Sinclair. Daniel Stefanides. Hiram Zalonis. If any of those are your names, please turn on the lights. We'd like to communicate with you. Thank you, Jenny, very much. Temperatures dropped. We're down to 42, 41, 43 there. So temperature right now is fluctuating. If I could get the camera to focus, there we go. I did see some readings down to 41 up to 44, so temperature is slowly going down. You feeling anything at all, Alan?
You got halfway done the list of names. I felt that cold air come back. But yeah, it was actually kind of odd because when I felt it come back, I was actually thinking in my head, I'm like, wow, it feels like it got really like quiet here all of a sudden. Like,
There we go.
speaking of,
I put my hand near just to see if it's. There's a little breeze down here. Flags are actually moving a little bit.
yeah, which is weird because every time it's came on, the flags have been actually moving.
So I'm just showing you nothing is touching that light. And the flags are actually waving a little bit. There's like a breeze right down there at that spot. Nothing is fabricating these experiences here. This is all happening on its own right before your very eyes. So again, unfortunately, they're not direct responses, but it is some type of activity. It could be someone that doesn't speak English. It could be someone confused or lost. It could be nothing at all. We really don't know. Rest of the names: Samuel Altieri, John Beloga, Benjamin Boyar, Francis Burns. If those are any of your names, or if you know those individuals, we would like to speak with you. We know that someone wants to communicate. The light came on a few times already. We'd like to speak with you, and we want to thank you for being here with us, but we need you to participate a little bit more so we could try to get some answers to our questions. And Alan did state, while I was listing off the first group of names, he did feel a cold sensation. And yeah, those flags aren't really moving at all right now. It seems like when the light comes on, the flags are moving. And you can see they're not moving at all right now.
Are you trying to communicate with me specifically? Are you aware that I can feel your presence being around?
Somebody asked, do you think that you are still working in the mine? Are you here to report to work? I don't know about brave, but I guess you could say determined. Hard to hear Alan, so when you could come over here, talk closer to the microphone. Do you still think that you're alive, or are you a family member of the deceased? That's a good question, too. Is someone stopping you from communicating with us?
Like a cold breeze right on my left hand underneath my microphone. It's like right by my knuckles.
Temperature is only like a 1 degree difference. Alan is stating he's feeling a cold breeze right now. I did scan him with the temperature gun. There's only about a 1 degree difference that I notice. Do you remember Miss Olson? If yes, please turn on the light or touch the green light. Mods, if you could, put a link to Alan's channel. Those who wish to subscribe, they can watch his video of his evidence, if he does capture any, on his channel. Any feelings of being touched or anything?
No, I haven't had any of the shirt pulling or anything traditional.
I'm going to switch the microphone position here. Give me a second. All right, I did switch the microphone placement, so you should be able to hear me and Alan a little bit better. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm not sure who Miss Olsen is. Someone told me to ask that, so. Are you looking for a white light? Are you trying to cross over? Yes, I do have a spirit box. We will be trying that too.
Are you somebody who is still trapped under the ground? Are you trying to find your way out?
All right, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to actually leave this spot here. We're going to leave Alan's camera rolling if he wants to do that. We're going to go down near the riverbank where we'll be closer to the water level of where the whirlpool opened up. We're going to see if we could make any type of contact or activity down there. Heard a sound. And then we're going to return up here and we will do a spirit box session. So those of you that are going to be staying with us here, just take a couple minutes intermission. Why am I seeing like light changing?
Where at?
On the marker.
Oh, you're saying
on that, it's like it's lighting up a little bit. I don't know what it's from. I kept thinking the flashlight's coming on, but it's not.
Let me see. Let me try. Cause I know like my screen for the camera, it's changing as I have this on and off.
No, it was actually like coming from behind the flag. We did ask that already, Holly, if someone's stopping them or if they're afraid. But again, we're going to go down by the river to try to make contact, and then we're going to return up here to do the spirit box, which is a device that scans radio frequencies in a forward or reverse pattern at a higher rate of speed. And when you ask questions, it's reported that spirits can manipulate the frequency to get a response to your question. So that is what a spirit box is. It does scan AM or FM radio frequencies, and you can scan forward or reverse. What? Oh, that's your red light's on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna leave your stuff rolling here? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe something will actually decide once the community will be fruition. Maybe they'll try playing with it or something.
All right. So as I mentioned, we're gonna leave cameras Alan's camera here, the Jesse Doll and the K2 meter, and if he happens to capture anything while we're gone, you'll be able to see that in his video when he does upload that to his channel, Revenge of the Apocalypse. So we're gonna take you now. We have to go down an embankment, which is not going to be easy for us to do, but we're going to do it to get down near the water and try to see if we capture anything. So stay tuned for the short journey.
This is definitely cool so far that we've had some hits on the flashlight.
Yeah.
Do you have your K2 here?
Yeah, it's on my bag. The only thing is I can't hold it around the camera because the phone will trigger it.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to hold it at a distance. So you can see this is what we have to go down. This is not going to be easy. Definitely not recommended. But the river is right there. You can see the orange color. That is from the acid mine drainage coming up from underground from the flooded mines. I guess I'll go first. So let me put my backpack out of the way. All right, so if I fall, at least it'll be live. Hopefully I don't get hurt. I do have hiking shoes this time, which should make things a little bit better. Oh, that's mud right there. Same spot I stood last time. You have to watch. Right here is a patch of mud. Okay. And right there. And there's a little embankment here too. Hang on, I'm getting the microphone twisted on a branch here. What is going on? I'm all tangled up. Okay. Oh. Sliding. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to show you guys where I just came down. This right here. There's Alan. And just came down this. This is pretty tricky at night. What I suggest doing is come down towards this tree here, grab onto the tree, and then kind of just try not to slide down on your butt though, because you'll get covered in mud. Yeah, so lean towards the tree, and then you're going to get your foot down here where I'm shining the light as you take down a tree.
Yeah.
Okay, now turn towards the tree. Keep your left foot up there, bring your right foot down here. So just step down with your right foot to this little landing right here, right there. And then you're going to come down kind of where I am here. All right, okay so far?
Yeah.
All right. Now I got to go through the bamboo jungle. Yeah. Now, the only thing you gotta watch is this orange stuff is kind of slippery, so don't step directly on it if you don't have to. Okay.
Yeah. That's a pretty scenery.
All right, so we're down here at the edge of the river, as you could see in here probably. And I'm gonna give you a view. This is what it looks like. That is looking upriver towards Pittston Duryea area. I'm sorry, Pittston or Duryea area, towards that direction. And down behind Allen here is going down towards like Wyoming area, Exeter, further down towards Wilkes-Barre. And directly across from us there, you can kind of see, that is Wintermoot Island. That is an island that was helped used to dam up the river to extract the water. So under this water is where the miners are trapped somewhere. Obviously not in the bottom of the water, but in mine passages and tunnels. Now, Alan, look at that. You see that water? That's coming out from under the ground right there. See it?
How close can I get to that?
You can get close. Just be careful. I'm going to take you guys for a little walk over here. I want to show you something that I showed during the daytime. There's like a little spring over here. Yeah, so the result of all the coal mining is now the result of this. Can you guys see that? That looks like a freshwater spring. Is in fact sulfuric acid bubbling out from under the ground. So realistically, if you were to dig down in that hole, you would eventually reach a mine sooner or later if you have some scuba diving gear. And just to show you too, further up, it is slippery here, so we have to be careful. I didn't want to step in that. Yeah, all this right here, this is all coming from under the ground, contaminating the river. And it's all along the shoreline here. And I did mention before, I'm going to be doing a video specifically on the acid mine drainage, showing you where the source of it is in the Lackawanna River and how it's affecting the Susquehanna River. You can smell that too? It smells like sulfur. It smells like rotten eggs.
Smells like when someone uses a septic pump.
Yeah. And then we got the river, which is quite eerie at nighttime. I gotta switch lights. This one's getting pretty hot. So we're gonna pick a safe location down here. We're gonna try and do some K2 metering and just see if we experience anything while we're down here. This is definitely not advised to do at nighttime, to be down here along a river, especially by yourself, but we both know what we're doing and we're doing things the safest way possible. There's Alan there is looking upriver. No way they can fix. There is a proposed plan to fix it, which I'm going to cover in my video. But there's some issues as to why it hasn't happened yet. But there is a proposed plan to try to eliminate or contain the mine drainage.
Yeah, I'm curious if anything happened up there with the K2 meter or the dollar or anything since we came down.
Yeah, possibly. When we get over here, I'm going to give you the K2 meter. I'm going to have you hold it. And we'll see if we get any responses, because I don't want to have the phone trigger it. What is that?
What is what?
Those things floating in the water. See them?
I don't know. Oh, maybe just leaves.
I thought they'd be moving downriver. They're just kind of sitting there.
So what's this from?
That's concrete.
Oh,
That's poured concrete. Don't know why it's here, but that is definitely concrete. And there's more flowing out, which is actually underwater now. When I was here last time, this was dry. The water level's up a little bit higher. But downriver, though, is where the hopper cart is that washed downriver when they were trying to fill in the whirlpool. It got rushed down about 50 yards from the current. So it's still there to this date. I did show it during the daytime live stream. We're not going to try to navigate tonight. It's just way too dangerous to go around all this. And the risk of falling in and getting this water on our skin and in our bodies, it's just not worth the risk.
yeah.
So I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to give Alan my K2 meter, and then we're going to see if we get any kind of responses. Oh, that's the moon up there. Thinking, what the hell's that bright light?
I know. Really bright moon.
Okay. Let's see you guys down here. Make sure you guys too that you have the red line on your screen all the way over to the right, showing that you are showing live right now. If the live isn't lit up, you're not watching the most up-to-date part of the stream, and you're going to be behind. Hold us a second, please.
It looked like it was open.
Yeah, so the phone will set it off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys, I do have the K2 out. It is going off. That's because it's near the phone. When we get further away from the phone, the lights do dissipate. So I'm not going to hold this. I'm going to have Alan stand over here. You want to take it over there?
Yep.
And then we'll see if we get any type of responses. Stand like anywhere in that area right there. A little further over.
This way?
Yeah. Yeah, even right there in that flat spot. See right there? Stand right there. Well, that's actually a really cool shot of you, silhouetted.
Yeah.
All right, so he is filming. He also has my K2 meter. We're going to have him ask some questions to start, and then I'll ask some as well, and we'll see if it lights up at all. Ooh. That was, what? That's blipping.
That's on. Oh. Oh.
So we got a yellow hit on the K2 meter already. We did check his camera is not affecting that. All right, take care, Matt. If there's anyone here, please go near the green light. If you try to touch it, it will light up. It will not harm you, but it will allow you to communicate with us. Go down lower to the ground. Like, just try to bend down with it and see. Try to ask a few questions.
If there's anybody down here with us, feel free to come up and you can touch this device. And when you do, it will...
So I know you can't hear him too well. He is asking some questions. We're going to see if we get any light-up responses.
If you have something that you would like to tell us. So I do invite anyone here to please come forward and let's have a conversation.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys. If you want to stand up, you can stand up. It's up to you, whatever's comfortable for you. But I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to show the light. The water is coming from the water table. The water under the earth sits at a certain level. Most of the mines are below that level. And active mines and even coal mine tours, they have to actively pump the water out continuously. If they don't, the mines fill up and it follows the path of least resistance. And it's coming out here where the water once seeped into the mines, it's now flowing back out into the river. Some strange sounds coming from that island. You don't need to hear him right now. He is just holding the K2. He's asking some questions just to see if we can hear any responses or see responses, but I will relay any information to you guys. Ask them if they want us to leave.
Are we bothering you? Do you want us to leave? If you want us to leave, go ahead and light this up for us. All you have to do is touch it.
Now, you can't pump out one mine, especially with coal mines. There's miles and miles of tunnels. It's a losing battle. You'd be pumping forever and never gain any ground. But again, when I do my video about the acid mine drainage situation here in Northeast Pennsylvania, I will talk about the proposed plan to try to, I guess you could say, control the effects of the mine drainage, but that'll be for another video. Narration needs to be louder. I have the microphone right by me here. You should be able to hear me no problem. Is anyone else having audio problems with my voice? If so, then I'll try to fix whatever's going on.
If you're here, we're not going to hurt you. We just want to be able to communicate to try to help you out. If you're trapped here,
so Alan is asking questions. We're getting 0 responses, but when I did hand it to him, though, it did get a yellow blip for about a split second, but we have nothing since. Alan, if you could, go over here in this area, closer to where we were before, and just see if it picks up anything. So stand like a few feet up there. All right, so guys, you should be able to see the little light that is Alan holding the K2. We're closer to the bank side here. If we get nothing here, within the next few minutes, we're going to go back up to the plaque area and we'll try the spirit box.
If you're not at peace and you're still here and want somebody to be able to find your body to give you a proper burial, this is probably one of your only chances to be able to speak with someone.
We know that probably no one's ever been here before to try to communicate with you, but we are here now, and we'd like you to try to do your best to let us know that you're here. Whether your intentions are good or bad, we'd like to know that we're not alone here, and that if you do have a message for the world to hear, we could try to pass it along for you. If you're angry at your mine bosses, we'd like to know. If you miss your friends or family, we'd like to know. Whatever you want to share with us, but you need to communicate with our lights. Otherwise, we won't be able to know if you're answering us or not.
I don't feel anything here like I felt up top there. The air here actually feels warmer.
Feels calmer here?
Yeah.
Let me do a temperature scan. Yeah, it's a few degrees warmer. It's 48, 49 degrees down here. So just to show you, we are scanning. If I can get it to focus there. Yeah, temperature is a little bit warmer down here. 48, 49 degrees. Up top, it's around 41, 42. You have our permission to speak. If someone's trying to tell you not to speak, please ignore them and speak with us. We know about the history in the past and all the bad things that happened, and we'd like to try to speak with you to maybe get some answers, to know that if you're still around, or try to lead you to the place in your afterlife, which is typically known as the white light. On the island, we're hearing what we think is a type of bird, or I don't even know how to describe it, but something that keeps like, caw, like every so often. But we're hearing other noises too, which are kind of unexplainable at this point. I really don't know how to describe it, but
that one noise though was really, really odd. I can't even try to recreate that one, but that one when we were up top there first setting up,
yeah.
that one was a really weird noise.
All right, so it looks like we're not getting any activity down here at all, except for a minor blip, but nothing's happened since then. So we're gonna go back up the hill, and we're gonna do a spirit box session. And then from there, we'll see what our next game plan is. We may wrap it up if we get no activity at all. So stay tuned and we'll get mobile again.
Yeah, I do gotta say that the one crazy part about this place is just knowing, like, in a cemetery it's different. You know that there's people buried there, but
yeah,
when you're here, you know that they could be anywhere, and it's just that they're just loose in the dirt somewhere. It's just it's such a crazy way to like visualize it.
And also knowing in the back of your mind that under the ground here, you know, there's troll bodies that were never found, you know,
Yeah.
that they're still down there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just crazy thinking about that and knowing that, like, it could, like, somebody could be like right here, for example. Like, you don't even know it.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame, and it would be awesome to be able to find them. But you know, that's the thing. If a spirit would actually communicate with us, you know, we can get light hits and know that something's here. And then if they do well in a spirit box, maybe they could actually locate where they're at. You know, that would be awesome.
I agree. All right, here's one final look upriver on the Susquehanna. It's actually looking pretty good in the camera right now. But we're gonna go back up the hill. Hopefully we don't twist or fall or do anything that's gonna risk our safety. And then we will set back up, pull out the spirit box, and we'll see what happens. We did come into this though knowing ahead of time. We talked to actually ourselves saying, listen, this is not a physical location. Our previous ghost hunts we've done have been physical locations. They've been houses, it's been barns, it's been cemeteries. This is our first time doing a location like this. We do know there's lots of history here and a lot of death and tragedy. So it was a gamble just deciding, is it worth it or not? But we didn't know until we came here. And we can't say we didn't have any activity at all. We did. We did have a few flashlight hits. We did hear noises. We did see a shadow. But it's not as active as other locations. But that's not to say if there's nothing here. So, Alan, I'll light up the way for you. You want to go up first, and then I'll follow behind you.
Okay.
Let me get light up here.
Yeah, walk back over this way then.
I think right through here.
Oh. Is it easier getting up?
I didn't go up this way, so I really don't know. This is the way we went up, isn't it?
I think so. No.
No?
Maybe not.
Maybe over here. Oh, yeah, here's the bamboo over here. Yeah, we're a little disoriented. We gotta find where we're going. Hearing this running water, though, is not doing very good for my bladder, I'll tell you that. All right, here we gotta go. So Alan's gonna lead the way. I'm gonna shine the light for him because I have a... Actually, let me have Alan the light too. Hang on. Make this easier for you. There you go.
My next thing is just...
Use one of my links. So, Alan's making his way up. I'm going to follow behind him. I'm not going to talk much except for maybe screaming if I fall. Ah, pickers. The one good thing is I'm not affected by poison ivy. I touch it all the time and it doesn't affect me. So I got that on my side. Yeah, pickers are never fun. All right, if you could, shine the light down towards me. I'm going to put my light away to use my hand. Let me get my backpack on and... actually move these legs up too so I don't get tangled in these. What happened here? Oh. All right, sorry about all the issues we're having. I'm going to try to make my way up the hill now.
Watch what you grab. Some of those got thorns on them.
All right. So far, so good. Don't want to step there. Don't want to step there.
So what I did was I put my right foot up against the tree and went behind it and then came up that way. And then from there on up, it's pretty alright.
Ow, pickers.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. Oh, got a spider on me. Okay.
Yeah, I still got one in my finger.
That was not fun.
Ow. Yeah. You shine that light on me real quick.
I think Alan's got a thorn. Oh, yeah, I got one in my ankle. Yep. Feeling it as I step.
Doesn't help if somebody else is on.
I have a knife if you need one. Or a knife.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna set you guys down. Hang on. Alan's just trying to get thorn out of his finger.
Thank you.
All right, so good news is Alan's camera's still here.
If that's the most pain I go through on an adventure, I'll take it. Be anxious to see anything going on.
Got a nice moonlit sky tonight.
Are you gonna put the flashlight back down as well while we do the?
Yeah. I gotta get myself situated here. I'm actually gonna mic up Alan right now. I have to do a few things here. I'll let you talk to him. Come over here closer to me. All right, so you could answer any questions or talk. I'll be
Okay. What's going on, guys? First time seeing the live chat for myself tonight. So what do you guys think of this place? It's definitely it is definitely creepy. I'm not gonna lie. You know, there's been a lot of seeing things out of your peripheral vision. One object that we actually did both confirm seeing. The hits on the flashlight so far. So there's definitely something going on, and it looks like we've got a full moon going on too, which is pretty insane. So it definitely adds for the eeriness. And actually, just heard something over there. At least one good thing, he's not by himself this time, being in the woods. Oh yeah, the mood. The mood for having the moon and the water and everything behind us is just phenomenal. This is, you know, even if there's not a whole lot of activity that can be found here, just the scenery and creep factor of the place and the history is enough to make it a good video. Oh. I'm probably gonna have to check myself too. Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of thorns stuck in his jeans. No, you know, I felt those cold sensations earlier, but I haven't felt anything recently. I didn't feel anything really down below, and coming back up, I don't immediately feel anything again, so I'm not sure. Oh.
Let me see if this will show up on camera. Yeah, that was stuck in my ankle. That didn't feel too good.
Oh, my YouTube, it's Revenge of the Apocalypse. It should be linked somewhere. You can find it.
Just told me to go under my channels tab.
Yeah, go under your go under his channels tab, and you'll be able to find it there. You'll see a red Mustang. That's me.
Right. You know.
Okay.
Where's the... Here it is. I'm going to put the flashlight back, and we'll hold the spirit box. me switch mics.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'm mic'd back up now. I do have the flashlight back down on the plaque here, showing the spot where the miners perished. Alan's camera NK2 meter still there. The Jesse doll still there. And now we do have the spirit box, which I'm going to turn on now. You're going to hear a lot of sound, like static radio frequency scanning. That's what it's supposed to do. It's going to scan through radio frequencies, either forward or backwards, however I choose, and at the rate of slow or fast, however I choose. We're going to ask questions. The answers typically come through really quick. Like you'll hear like a yes or a no or danger or a name, but it comes through really quick. A lot of times you can't hear it unless you replay back the audio at a slower rate. So keep your eyes and ears open. Eyes for activity on the ground, ears for the responses. So let's get started with this. Is there anyone here with us that would like to make contact or communicate with us? Actually, I'm going to adjust the volume, turn up a little bit louder. Hang on one second. Can you tell us your name? Are you upset that we're here? Did you die in the Knox Mine Disaster? There was something there. Do you know the 12 men that died? Do you feel like you're trapped here? Is someone stopping you from leaving this area? Do you miss your family? I heard like a man's voice come through like distinctly. Are you trying to find the white light? Those of you that are questioning, just so you understand, the way a spirit box works is it does scan the radio frequencies. I'm on FM frequencies right now, and spirits are supposedly able to manipulate and make a word that's being programmed on the radio stand out as a response. So you are hearing radio frequencies in real life, but the ones that are standing out are supposedly being controlled by spirits. That's how they're reported to work. So it's not just random radio frequencies that are stopping. This is scanning at 150 milliseconds per minute. And I can even scan it backwards, which I'll do now. And we'll see if we get any type of other responses. But I did hear a few responses. I think you did as well. I need my flashlight here to see the settings here. So I'm going to turn it back on. If you guys have any questions you'd like me to ask, put them on the screen. I won't ask them for you. Okay, now scanning backwards. going to turn that volume up a little bit louder. Did 13 people die here? Can you please tell me your name?
Whoa.
Something made a big thud right in the woods here, right behind Alan. That actually startled me. Is there someone here?
Oh, man.
Hang on a second. Grab my bag right there, please.
Yeah.
What the heck was it?
I don't know, but that was loud.
Something, the best way I could describe it, it sounded like a coconut fell from the tree and a big thud on the ground. I'm starting to think someone's here. All right, we're going to kill the lights and see what's going on. Something is a little off right now. It was loud though. Like it, me and Alan heard it distinctly.
It's crazy too because we heard that over top of the spirit box.
Yeah, the spirit box is playing right by my ear, and we heard a
Something again.
thud.
I heard something moving. I heard something walking.
Hold this a second. Keep the camera on me.
Okay. Yeah, we do have methods of protection on us, so.
It's really thick here too. We would hear someone coming.
Yeah, it literally sounded like something fell right out of the trees. Like that was a thud. That was a.
Oh, like someone chucked the boulders.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's weird too, but that could have been some form of activity too. I mean,
Yeah, it could have been a response. My fear it's a person. And that's my biggest thing I don't want to encounter because you don't know why somebody would be out here right now besides us.
yeah. But that's the weird part about it though too, is the fact that we should have heard somebody, even if they were trying to carefully get through. I mean, you know how much noise we were making just coming up this.
Exactly.
There's no way you could go through that without making a significant amount of sound.
So just to give you a recap as to what just happened, we were doing our spirit box session. Alan was standing kind of right on the ground where I'm showing the flashlight right here. He was standing right here. I'm standing right where I am now. I was facing the marker site, and as we were listening for responses, a loud thud fell. Something fell and made a loud thud in those trees. It reminded me of someone chucking a boulder or like a coconut falling from a tree, which there's no coconuts here, obviously, but someone would have to be in there, and that is very thick and almost impenetrable. You would hear someone walking through, and we didn't hear anything, but we heard that thud. It very well, like Alan said, could be a response paranormally, but my fear is that one is maybe out here messing around. So we're gonna kind of put this on pause for a few moments and make sure we're not getting ourselves in a bad situation. It wasn't a stick falling. It wasn't an animal. It was something heavy. Like it had some force to it.
I know definitely on my video I'm going to capitalize on that part and possibly replay that a few times. Well, if you didn't have to pee, you do now. And if you did have to pee really bad, you probably just did. That really scared me. I jumped. That really scared me.
See, the thing that's perplexing to me is because if someone was here, a physical person, we would hear them walking through the woods there. There's no way they can move without being heard, because we made a heck of a lot of noise walking up that hill, which has a path. This is very thick forest here, and that came literally.
I swear to God, I just heard something.
Yeah, I did too. I thought I saw a light. That sound came within 20 feet, directly in front of the camera. So that was an unexpected turn, I could tell you that. And we're not making this up. I don't know if it came through on camera. I'm pretty sure Alan maybe heard it because he was closest to it.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I got two, high quality mics recording, and I know for a fact I'll definitely have it picked up on the audio of that. Pre-warning though, when you watch my video, you're going to hear a thud and then see the camera shake really violently, because I definitely jumped.
See, it's the only thing that we do risk ourselves with is doing these live streams, is that people locally obviously know the location of this place. There's definitely a way people could come and find where we are. It's a real concern. We hope that if anyone was to come, they would come peacefully, but there's no real reason for anyone to be back here right now, except for us doing our investigation.
And even still, though, somebody would have had to have camped out there knowing we were going to be in this exact spot, because, again, nobody can be walking around right now. But it is weird, though, because if you notice, when the light's off, you do start to hear stuff moving in the brush, which I can still see well, because the infrared light is basically the same as your flashlight. So if I look on the screen, well, I don't know if they can maybe see.
I'll put it in front of the camera here.
Yeah.
A little closer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Alan sees. He's using his infrared right now.
Yeah, so I can see pretty well if I'm looking at my display here. Through my eyes, I can't, but through this, I'm able to still see a portion of what's going on.
It's kind of easier said than done not to be scared. I mean, I'm not scared, but I am nervous at this point, a little bit on edge. And I said before, I'll say it again, I'm more afraid of the living than I am of the dead. We're actually going to keep the stream going until we get back to our car, just so that you guys know and we know that we're getting back safely and as a group, because with this happening, I really don't know what to do at this point. I don't know if we should continue or just pack it up. Maybe that was a sign to scare us away. Maybe they're telling us, hey, we don't want you here anymore. That very well could be what happened. Right.
The scary part about it is whatever fell had a lot of weight to it.
Yeah, there was mass to it. That was like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it sounded like someone threw a bowling ball, like threw as hard as they could, and it just landed. And I just don't know what would have made that sound. Someone would have to be in there to do that. There's no way somebody's in there unless they've been sitting there all night.
Actually, I just had an idea, because I was thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, well, it's not down there by the rocks, because if something were to go down like a rock wall or anything, you would have heard it tumbling, hitting on the rocks.
Yeah.
What are the chances of somebody down there tossing it up?
It is a possibility.
Which, I mean, again, it's a lot of weight to throw up, but I mean, that's the only thing I could think of that would not have.
I'm gonna take a quick look.
All right.
going over there now? It's on camera. Can they see me on camera?
Yeah.
So I just went by the river edge at the top of the path to see if anyone's down there. I didn't see anyone, but I just got the feeling like, just like something bad, like you shouldn't be here anymore. That's the feeling I just got. And I'm thinking we should probably act on that because something did that to get our attention. What?
What?
Oh, it's a bug. Okay. I saw something moving in the trees there. Whew, I thought it was like a ghost or a spirit. Yeah, I think we're going to pack it up, guys. Something doesn't seem right here. Something got our attention, and I think it's trying to tell us to leave. If it's not a person, it's something that we can't explain. And I don't think we should try to push our luck anymore. So we're going to pack it up and get out of here.
I don't know. Maybe the spirit box irritated it. I don't know.
Yeah, that could happen too. All right, so just sit tight, guys. We're gonna pack everything up and we're gonna make our way out of here. So if you guys don't mind, please stay on the stream until we reach our vehicle. That way we know that you guys are able to witness if anything is to happen and you know that we get back safely. So it's going to take us roughly 15-20 minutes. If you don't mind staying on board, and then we will depart once we reach our car. If you guys too happen to know what time on the stream that happened, let us know, because right now on the stream it's showing I've been streaming for 1 hour 39 minutes. If you could comment around what time that happened. Was it around the 1 hour 30 mark or 1 hour 33? That way I could timestamp it in the comments after the video's over.
It's not really a bad idea.
What's that?
The one comment that I have here.
Put that one flag back.
Oh yeah. You shine that light like through that hole.
Around 128 to 132. Okay. I'm gonna go back and see if I can hear that. And definitely Alan probably will have some of that evidence or whatever happened on his video. Once we get back to the car too, once we're in the stream, we're gonna do a like a closing prayer that we did before.
Okay. Now for the walk back behind. Should I move it and put it?
What?
Like, should I put it up here, or do you want me to leave it down there?
Put it up there. I didn't know you had that.
Yeah.
If there's any spirits or anything here, you are not allowed to go with us. You are to remain here. You're not to follow us or to attach yourselves to us. Please remain at this location. You do not have our permission to follow us or to stay with us. those of you that perished here, the 12 men, you'll be my thoughts. I feel bad for what happened, and I will return another day to visit and maybe make contact, but I think it's time to go. In the name of God, stay here at this location. Do not follow us. Do not come with us. We are now leaving. We leave in peace. Yeah, whatever I heard came right in that vicinity. I'm still a bit startled. I'm gonna be realistic. I'm gonna be on edge until we get back to the car.
Yeah.
If the stream does get pixelated or blurry, I do apologize, but we're just gonna try to get out of here. Yeah, it's clear down there. And this is the way we got to go. We do have a long walk, roughly 15 minutes or so. On the right of us is a stone mountain here, a stone face wall, so there can't really be anything there. But thank you everyone who is staying tuned with us to make sure we get back safely. I know if I was by myself, I would probably
Drop everything. In.
yeah, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, that's a worse experience than what you had when you were alone in the woods.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you everyone for your prayers and thoughts. The situation definitely made a turn in a different direction than we were anticipating. That's something that never happened to us before, where something was like physically hurled or dropped by one of us in the dark.
Yeah, I would consider that too close for comfort. We're going to shine behind us real quick just to make sure nobody's...
So periodically we are checking around us, our surroundings with a flashlight to make sure no one's following us.
Yeah, it's really deep.
Yeah. So everyone that is thinking, hey, this is really cool, I'd love to do this. It's cool and fun and interesting as it is. It's practically not a very safe idea. Not unless you're on someone's property that you know, or even a cemetery that is, in a neighborhood vicinity. We're kind of all alone out here.
Well, I mean, I'll say for my own opinion, I think this was a good time out. We definitely got the crap scared out of us, and did have a little bit of contact. There is something here, but whether it's willing to talk, doesn't want to talk, I don't know what the case may be, but there's definitely activity here. It's just, I don't know. And again, too, remember, we did see that black figure and something.
I just heard like a leaf crunch.
Yeah.
It's got blurry all of a sudden.
But we did see that black figure, and somebody did, make mention that could also be something not so great.
Oh, there's eyes.
Was that?
Guys, there's eyes straight ahead of us here. You see them?
No. We're on the trail.
Right in the middle.
Oh yeah. Looks to be really low.
What is that?
Coming towards us. That's coming at us.
Yeah, it's not moving. It's still there.
It looks like something standing there though, like a little creature.
But why isn't it running away?
Yep. No, it moved. It moved. Right. It's off to the right there.
Is it still there?
I would assume it probably is going to be there because it ain't going to have nowhere else to go. But basically right by that right by that.
That branch sticking out?
Yeah, the one furthest.
Yeah.
Right there. That's the city where it's at. I'm gonna come actually over to this side just in case it's like a spin.
And there was something low to the ground, but it was like standing there for a while watching us. Just hope we don't get sprayed by a skunk or anything.
Actually, right just past that branch sticking out. Not this one here.
Right
that
there. That was too small for a deer.
Yeah, it was really low.
It went into the woods right where we're looking right now. It's probably still in there. I mean, we've seen other animals that eyes shine too, besides cats. I don't know if a cat would be out here right now. Oh, geez, this is only the location of the Eagle Air Shaft. We still got a ways to go.
There's no very long, suspenseful walk apparently.
So while we're here, I'm going to show you guys really quick, just as a point of reference. This is the Eagle Air Shaft where 33 men escaped from that disaster, and where the first man escaped to let authorities know what was going on to basically go summon help. So that's the location. We're roughly 50 yards down from where everything just took place. Like a piece of lumber there, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks like it's actually like opened up right there, don't it? Like the rock.
Yeah, it does. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Can you hold this?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go check that really quick.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Something that's been walking here, handle down. There's a fence here.
Yeah.
Metal. This is where the air shaft was. They have it all piled up with boulders.
Yeah.
You see the fence?
Oh yeah.
Over here, it's metal. So the air shaft was right here. And they plugged it up with boulders, but you could probably still find a way into it. All right, so that is the actual location of the Eagle Air Shaft. That is a fence and a fence post there, and a bunch of big boulders that are purposely collapsed to plug up the hole. But I had to check that out while we're here. Yeah, I've been called crazy before.
I think the last time something like this is probably going to happen either.
I hope it's last time. That was unnerving. We're going to keep the lights off for a little bit here, just so we don't draw any attention.
And I will say too, if that was an entity that actually caused that,
That's power.
definitely a good thing. And I'm not going to say the word because I know from like my
I know.
house, if you say it, it gets extra pissed. But it was able to move some stuff like that.
So once we do make it to the car, we will share our thoughts on the whole night that took place here. This is a first for us. That's all we could say. We do have some thoughts as to what may have happened or what caused it, but we will give you a full recap once we reach our car. So please stay tuned. We probably have another 10 minutes to go, I'm hoping. It's much longer walk at nighttime than it is during the day.
Yeah, it was a quick walk.
Yeah.
Problem is that we're actually like, we were kind of like on alert walking down, and now it's just, we're, I mean, at least I guess we're away from whatever was going on, but still.
So guys, while we're making our way back, what do you think realistically happened? What do you think caused that sound? I can already tell you, it wasn't a branch. It wasn't a small animal. And the only way it could be a person is if they were sitting there the entire time without making a sound.
If
So
you
that,
haven't watched my video, make sure down in the comment section, flood it up. Let's see what kind of ideas we get, because really there's a whole bunch of different theories we could try to come up with, but truth is, we don't know the answer. We definitely didn't want to stick around to find the answer. And, it could range from being a person to just a freak accident to something being paranormal. We don't know. So, share your thoughts.
yeah, Mike, I did find those. I went to Convenient in Avoca and got myself a bag. So, don't really have food on the mind right now. Just have safety on the mind. Moon rock. If it was moon rock, I'd probably try to cash in on that, but something heavy, much heavier than if I was to imagine, it'd be someone my size chucking a 10-pound bowling ball. That's what it sounded like. And it just made a loud, deep thud.
It was dense.
Yeah, it wasn't like it bounced or like a rock bouncing off a tree. It was something heavy with significant weight that dropped and just made a solid thud. I really have no way of explaining it.
I mean, that's the thing too, even if somebody's trying to say a simple tree branch or anything, that's not gonna make that kind of a sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if an animal jumped, it would have made a rustling sound indeed. There was no sound before or after that happened. The only thing we heard was the spirit box.
And guys watching, I know firsthand, watching a spirit box session on your device you're watching it on, most of you probably have to turn your volume down because it's really obnoxiously loud. Well, hearing that thing in person is really, really loud, and that thud overpowered the volume of the spirit box, so it was really loud.
And realistically, where you were standing, that fell within 15 feet of you.
Yeah, it's really,
if not closer.
That's the thing. I'd like to try to remember if I felt like the ground move or anything, but all I know is my feet left the ground. So.
Now, guys, did you hear the thud? Because my instincts that you probably didn't hear it because the spirit box, but I'm just curious if it did come through or not. We heard it. Some heard it, some didn't. I'm almost certain Alan heard it, at least on his camera, because, again, he was close to it.
Well, that's the thing. Replaying it will be better anyway, because you got to figure a lot of people will probably focus on the spirit box or maybe a background noise in their film or something, and probably didn't,
And I at first thought he threw something. I looked at him, and then the next thing I know, he's running away because he didn't know what happened. I mean, I would do the same thing, but my initial thought was it was him, but it wasn't.
It's quick. You sure? Mess. Just find the sardine can.
All right, so if you couldn't hear it, I mean, that's understandable. I did have the spirit box speaker close to the microphone so you guys could hear that, but it overpowered that from our own ears being there in person.
But this is definitely a perfect example of why it's best to at least have one other person when you're doing something like this.
Yeah. I mean, we're here together. we are, we have protection on us. We do have weapons, and we're still on edge. I mean, so that just goes to say something that we can't explain startled us. And those of you that know me, aside from snakes and heights, I don't get startled easily. I've faced some pretty sketchy locations and been in situations that, people are saying, how'd you do that? I can't believe you did that. You're nuts. You have balls of steel. I mean, I am human though. And when you have a feeling, I went by that embankment by the river, I got the feeling of like something bad saying, you need to leave. So we went with our instincts.
Yeah, if you ever get a gut feeling like that, always best to go with it.
Would it be hard to get those woods from another way? The only way to get in, and I'll show you, is if someone walked these train tracks the way to the location where we were, and then had to cut through the woods to get near where we were. They would have made a lot of sound if they cut through this brush.
Yeah.
So there's no way someone just walked in upon us unless they were sitting there for hours not making a sound, which is hard for a person to do.
Yeah.
The other theory is that Alan thinks someone was maybe down by the riverbank and threw a rock up, which is a real possibility. But again, we would have heard if like someone was like making noise down there. There's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of mud and dirt and branches, so.
That's the other thing too, for how much the item weighed that was thrown. You would have had to have had a lot of strength to toss that up too,
Those are not eyes, those are reflectors along the trail. Yeah, I would have spotted, I would have commented on that if that was eyes. Those are reflectors. How you feeling currently?
I'm good. Just my stomach's in a knot. There's a really scary situation. I mean, it still is for the most part, but I feel comfortable knowing that we're further away from it.
Yeah. I think we're gonna be okay. Closer.
Hey, don't say that yet.
Yeah. People are saying we're okay. We're not okay yet, but we're getting closer.
Yeah.
Once we're actually physically at the car, we'll feel a heck of a lot better. Well, if this is putting you to sleep, you could come out here with us and walk in the dark and experience what we did. We're the ones putting our lives at risk, not you, so.
One thing I like to tell people, because especially like my coworkers, they're like, why do you do that stuff? Well, if you like watching horror movies, come do this for once. It's a lot better. You get that same adrenaline rush, but it's actually like real.
No, we're not checking any plastic bags hanging from the fence, but if I remember, I think it's dog crap from last time I was here. And again, thank you to everyone who is staying tuned. I know this is a boring walk back, but we're doing this for our safety. If anything was to happen at all, like paranormal or with a person, I'd at least want it to be documented so we have proof of what happened. But let's just hope that's not the case and we just get back peacefully. Well, V, I'm glad you want to be a witness, but I'm hoping that you're not a witness. We don't need anything bad to happen for you to witness.
On the crappy part, there's probably some people on there like, come on, I want to see some action.
Oh yeah, there's already people saying this is like boring, like this is boring, they're falling asleep. But we're here, they're not.
Yeah. And see, that's where what we do comes in handy, because one, your live stream validates everything that happened, and then once I put up my shorter edit of it, we can capitalize on things that did take place. That's creepy.
Yeah. Ooh.
We can capitalize on things that did take place that we really want to, be able to show the viewers and replay.
So mods, just a question for those of you who have been here tonight, Adam, Lori, Mike, whoever else. How have the trolls been? Because I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat as much as I usually do, especially with what took place. But I was just wondering, have there been a lot of negativity, or has it been pretty mild tonight? Do more. I don't mind doing more than nighttime videos, but again, I have to account for my safety. I have a family to return home to, so I need to do it in a relatively safe and controlled environment. I'm not going to go walking into anywhere just to make a video. I do have to pick appropriate locations. Yeah, people that said it's boring, that's okay. They voluntarily clicked on the stream. Still no end in sight. I thought we'd be back by now. I'm sorry that's taking longer than normal. Well, thank you to every one of you admins tonight for your help and continued help. It definitely makes the channel much more appropriate for anyone to come here. I know I've actually been to some larger channels who have like 500,000, million subscribers. They do live streams. They have no mods. People are just bashing the individual, cursing, saying inappropriate things. So when you have good mods, it makes for a more professional and respectable channel. So thank you again to each one of you. It's most likely humans breaking the fence. Can't say that for sure, but the fence, you gotta have some strength. Actually, like on the verge of sweating almost. I don't want to be. Oh, thank you, whoever said you enjoy my channel. And glad it's not boring. I know it wasn't boring about a half hour ago.
Yeah, that was too exciting.
Yeah, those of you that are tuning in late, it's going to happen somewhere around the 1 hour 25-minute mark or 1 hour 30-minute mark. We are in the midst of doing a spirit box session, and a loud thud happened behind Alan that spooked both of us. So I'm curious to see what happened myself or what we could hear, and even more curious to see Alan's footage, because something physically made a sound. We're keeping the lights off here more now because there are some homes up on the hillside here, so we don't want to startle anyone.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, I'm glad we were up top again when that happened. Imagine if we were down by the stream.
Oh yeah, we'd probably get hurt trying to get up.
Yeah, it would have made that a really bad situation.
That's where it just came from. We keep checking periodically, make sure there's no one behind us. I think we are nearing the end of our trail here. And thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight. Like I said, whether you believe or not in what we do, we at least hope you find our videos and streams somewhat informative when we're able to be, but more so entertaining. You know, there's a lot of people out there in channels that are, let's just say, they overhype their videos and the situations. You know, if that was to happen on another channel, people would be running, screaming, "Oh my God, bro, look at what happened." You know, we're pretty level-headed guys, and I think we handle the situation pretty maturely. All right, those lights ahead means we are getting close. Okay. Good. Yeah, Alan's channel is Revenge of the Apocalypse. Mods, if you could one more time, post a link to his channel. Those of you who wish to subscribe, you'll be able to click on the link and head on over there and subscribe. When do you think you'll have the video out? In about a week?
Yeah.
He'll have the video out in a week or less.
Yeah, I usually like to try to get them out, you know, during that same week. So
Yeah.
maybe like Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where the numbers are going to go from here, but I'm just... Oh, got a biker. I'm thrilled to reach the threshold of 100K. It's the goal I've had for the last 3 years. I've reached it. And wherever my channel goes from here, it goes. I'm just enjoying the ride, as they say. The lights you see up ahead, this is coming into downtown Pittston. The lights straight ahead are part of the river walk here. I featured it in other videos. I've also made a video where it was flooded last year. Sorry it's shaky. I'm holding the camera tripod with one hand. I have the flashlight in my other hand, so I'm not using a gimbal right now. All right, Diane, take care. We have a little bit more of a walk to go. Probably a little bit more than 5 minutes we'll be at the car. Once we get in the car safely, we will wrap up the video. Yeah, during the daytime it doesn't seem like such a far walk, but nighttime it seems twice as long.
So since nobody asked you, or that we know of asked you, I'll ask. Would you ever come back here again at night?
That's a good question.
And then on top of it, would you ever do it by yourself?
By myself, definitely not. Will I come back again? I think yes, but I probably want to have more with us, more people.
Yeah.
Just safety in numbers.
Yeah, at least 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting ever so closer to safety here and civilization. The bike is, it was across the river in West Pittston. I don't know where it's at now, but it was far away, but the sound was traveling pretty good. Now the bike's up here. I should take Jill alone. No, I don't know if that'd be the best idea. Definitely feeling better. I will feel 100% better once we're at the car.
Well, at least past this week.
Yeah, we are, as I should say, we're out of what we could call the danger zone. But
oh, that's comforting.
yeah, that's where we just came from, the path to darkness. Mike doesn't do paranormal investigations. He's not really into it like I am, and plus his work schedule doesn't work with me. He works a lot of nights, so we typically go out exploring in the mornings and afternoons. Okay, he's gonna do his outro here. behind the scenes.
Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, check out JPVideos channel so that you can see the live from what happened here tonight, and to be able to get the jump on other paranormal investigations that we do in the future. You'll always be able to see them first on his channel, then second on mine. So if you want to stay on top, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. And the next step.
And as you guys can see, Ghost City Shelton did share my Patreon page. Oh, there's flashing lights up there. That's not good. Those of you who are interested, my Patreon page has 2 tiers. Tier 1 is for $2 and above. They will give you exclusive access to upcoming projects, sneak peeks behind the scenes. $10 or more will get you the same access, and your name will be featured in an upcoming video. You can also follow me on Facebook, where I do share photos and some footage and material that doesn't always make it to my YouTube channel. And my Patreon page, merchandise shop Spreadshirt page, which is where I do have my t-shirt designs, including 3 new designs. One of them is a baby head, one is a clown doll, and one is a toy truck. And they say, "I found a toy, it's officially abandoned." You can head on over there, check them out. It'd be a great gift idea for Christmas. Jay, tell Alan, please, Mustang was very cool. What time is it too, by the way? 9:57. Do me a favor, my zipper right here, should be keys in here.
This little one?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Okay. What's that? This is the city. Very quiet city right now. His channel is Revenge of the Apocalypse. It is posted in the comments in the chat. You can also find it in my channels tab on my channel, featured channels. All right, guys, just hang on. We're gonna get everything situated, and we'll get in the car and talk with you guys. You want to hold this for a second? Talk to them if they have anything to say.
Okay. Yeah, we did make it back, luckily. It was a little bit sketchy for... Yeah, definitely feel a lot better now. That's for sure. Yeah, people saying that they're glad you're safe.
All right, we'll get in the car and then we'll talk to them. Let me get some lights on here. All right, so we are back safe and sound, thankfully. That was a heck of an all jumbled. Heck of an experience. So I'm going to tell you what I think first about the whole night, and then Alan will share his thoughts. Basically, we went to this location knowing that there is history here. A disaster took place. 12 men perished, were never found. There's no physical items left for us to explore or to investigate, but we went to the scene of the disaster hoping that we would at least maybe encounter something. Those of you that watched from the beginning, you did see we did get a few flashlight hits with the flashlight turning on and off by itself, but they weren't direct responses. They were more or less random occurrences that happened, and we can't say yes or no that was paranormal. We don't know what it was. It wasn't either one of us that physically touched it, but it did turn on and off 3 or 4 separate times. Aside from that, we didn't get any K2 hits at the site of the marker there. With that said though, Alan did have his camera rolling the entire time on the Jessie doll, filming in infrared with the K2 there. So when we went down by the riverbank, there's a chance something may have happened there that we didn't witness, but it might be on his footage. So you'll have to obviously watch his videos to find out. Down by the river, it was a little bit, you know, not how do I want to put it? Not calming, which is not as creepy down there, not as scary, but it was nonetheless interesting. I think the most challenging part was getting up and down the hill. But we did do a K2 session down there. He got a quick hit when we turned it on within the first minute, and then nothing at that. Then we returned, went back to the marker site, did a spirit box session where we do think we did get a few responses of yeses or nos, and some deeper voices of a man that came through. So I'm going to have to listen to that back with some headphones, see if I could depict what was said. But I think we did encounter some direct responses there. And as the activity was picking up with the responses, Alan is to my left. I'm behind the camera facing the marker. Out of nowhere, a loud thud happened. And again, my best description is like a coconut falling from a tree, or someone hurling a 10-pound boulder or bowling ball. There's no way possible anything can make that sound unless, number one, someone was back there physically. Number two, if it's a spirit trying to give us a sign, which I'm going to touch base on. I don't think it was a person because the foliage and the brush was so thick, we would hear them coming from several feet away, probably 30 or 40 feet away. There's no way possible anyone could sneak back there unless they've been sitting back there all night, which I think is highly unlikely. Something physically made a loud thud. It wasn't a bird, it wasn't a branch, it wasn't an animal jumping from a tree. Something like just thud, like, and nothing else. So it startled both of us. He turned around really quick. He was only literally feet away from it. It startled me because I thought it was him and it wasn't. Spiritually, we think 2 things. Number one, we had the spirit box going, which is, let's just say, makes an annoying sound. It's a lot of static, a lot of noise. I had the volume up all the way, and Alan came up with a theory. Maybe we're agitating a spirit that was there. Whether it's a spirit or a demon, we don't know. But we think maybe it got agitated and it was giving us a sign, hey, we don't like that, we want you to stop. And, well, we stopped. The other theory is that something was there that didn't want us there anymore. They didn't like us snooping around, poking around, asking questions, and that it made that thud to get our attention, but also to tell us, hey, it's time to leave. You're overstayed your welcome. We don't know what happened, and we may not know ever. I'm hoping that his footage, audio-wise, is going to maybe shed some light on it. Maybe we could hear something in his video that we didn't hear in person leading up to that sound. We don't know. If you guys have any theories at all, what you think happened, if you heard it, let me know what you think it was. If you didn't hear it, based on what I described, I'd like to know your thoughts. But I'm going to turn over to Alan now, and he's going to share his theories and what he thought about tonight's investigation.
Yeah, it was definitely creepy. And again, yeah, we went into this knowing that there was a chance that nothing was going to happen. And unlike most, like even a cemetery, there's headstones, there's something to visualize and see there, where this is more of a open area outdoors, just a wooded location. So for what did take place there really doesn't make any logical sense, and turned out to be a lot spookier than what I had expected, just because of, honestly, that sound. Just knowing how heavy this object was, knowing that either someone was that strong or an entity was that strong, is just a real nerve-wracking feeling. And I'm very anxious to get home and actually not only see that, but I really want to see if there's anything on the other camera, because honestly, the only time somebody could have gotten back there possibly at all without us knowing, aside from sitting there all night, is while we were down by the water. That would have been the only time somebody could have maybe walked up behind us and got spooked and hid or something. If that's any type of possibility, I'll be able to find it out. But I think we're all left with the idea that it's not going to be found. So,
And the other thing too I mentioned too is when I went looking through the woods with my flashlight, I went down to the river's edge at the top of the hill that we went down before, and trying the light just to see, hey, maybe someone's down there messing around with us. Maybe they threw a rock. No one was down there, but when we were down there originally, we didn't have any type of bad feeling. I'm not as sensitive as he is when it comes to this stuff, but I do feel things in locations where it feels like something bad happened, or we shouldn't be there, or we're being watched. I got the feeling that like something bad was going to take place if we stayed there, that it was time to leave. I got that impression when I went there, and that was immediately after that big thud happened. So I really don't know what to make of it. It was very startling. I mean, we're both grown men, we are protected with weapons. If something was to happen with a physical encounter of a person, we are, in the right mind to protect ourselves. Something like that we can't explain is a whole nother mindset. You don't really know how to depict it. You don't know if there's something was messing with you, trying to scare you, trying to get your attention. I don't know. I mean, when we do this, yes, as a form of entertainment, but at the same time, we are hoping to make contact with whoever is there to get some answers to whatever they're willing to share, more or less. Whether it be a cemetery, the haunted barn we went to, a house. We're not here trying to convince you that ghosts exist. That's not what we're out here to do. We're not out here either pretending that places are haunted if they're not. You watch us live, you watch this video. Whatever happens in real life. If nothing happens, we don't fabricate it. So everything that you ever see, not only tonight's stream, but other ones, happens in real life. I'm not over the top dramatic. I do have a level head. I have common sense, and I go into this with an open mind. We each encounter our own experiences, and we do know something is out there that can't be explained. And I mentioned earlier, when we were walking to the location, we both saw a black shadow in the far distance. I turned the light on, it was gone. Was it our eyes playing tricks on us? Very well could be. But for both of us to happen at the same time, that's more than just a coincidence. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. I do want to thank you guys for sticking around, making sure that we got back to the car safely. I can't wait to go back and watch this and see how it looked on camera, and see maybe if I could hear or see something that wasn't said or heard before. Bill and Steph weigh in, just found about 1 month ago, the content. Thank you so much, Bill. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. Mods, big thanks to you tonight for all your help with keeping the chats clean and answering any questions, sharing links. You guys are very appreciated. I know I'm jumbling my words tonight, but my mind is just kind of all over the place with what happened. So anyways, before I get carried away, I just want to thank you guys for watching tonight. There will be a nighttime video coming up before Halloween, similar to the one I did a few weeks ago. It won't be a paranormal stream, but I did find a location that we could kind of snoop around and investigate and see how it is at nighttime, that I think is relatively safe. But I'll make an announcement of that when it does happen. Alan's video will be out before the week is over. Subscribe. He does other videos besides paranormal. He does cars, product reviews, abandoned explorations, and he's a great person to do collaborations with. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And like I always say, I'll see you in the next video.